Thanks for joining me on this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you don't miss out on any new content on the channel. And also be sure to follow me on these other social media platforms. Links are in the description below. All right, have and have not fans. Now, a quick video here. I think I briefly addressed this in the episode review for The Black Dress, as well as discussing it in a couple of live streams. A lot of people have been saying, "Oh, it's cute that Jeffrey was concerned about Melissa." Hey, yeah, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he quickly grabbed his I think he had, what? Did he have a jacket? No, it looks like he was getting himself together to get up and leave immediately to find out what was going on. But then Veronica stopped him and then told him about David. So, yeah, it was very nice to see that he dropped everything and was going to rush to see what was going on with Melissa. But I think that Melissa, if I'm not mistaken, let's see here. The last time that Jeffrey and Melissa saw each other face to face was when I'm trying to remember here. Was it back during the scene where Melissa was in the hospital after slitting her wrist after finding out her dad was dead, and Jeffrey went into the room to see her. They talked one on one, and Jeffrey was actually, well, being nice. And that's when Melissa pretty much said that, you're no better than your mother. And I believe that was the same episode where Jeffrey, I guess Jeffrey and the audience was introduced to Melissa's mom for the first time. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that was the last time those two saw each other. I can't remember any other time after that because Melissa's at home. And Veronica, this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is close to the end of season 4 because Veronica brings Melissa home. Her mom is there too. And then, Veronica brings Melissa up to the bedroom and says, "You're going to clean up these sheets that you bled all over." Then the next day, that's when, they all went to, Veronica went to court, had Jeffrey arrested. And I think that's the episode where she threw the sandwich at Melissa, telling her to eat. But then she takes the hanger, of course, has to go to the hospital again, and that leads to them being ran off the road. So I do believe the last time Jeffrey and Melissa saw each other face to face was when, he went to see her in the hospital. So he was about to do the same thing again, obviously. But I feel like it's just one of those things where Jeffrey finally realized that, well, she's a person. And I've said this before that I can understand why Jeffrey would treat Melissa the way that he did. I don't think it's just because of him being gay. It's just because of the fact that he was lied to, deceived, and Melissa played a role in putting him in a permanent position where his mom will always have dominance over him. And to be honest, I can understand that because even though Melissa, quote unquote, had good intentions, I mean, Melissa doing what she did to save her dad and her family from bankruptcy, I can understand the motivation, but at the same time, you're not just selling yourself over to someone, but you're bringing a baby into this world who is a result of a scheme or arranged marriage. Not to mention, you are also forcing yourself on a person who's not even into women. So you're ruining his life as well. So pretty much in order to save your family, you gave up your own life, this gay man's life, and then you're putting a baby into the mix as well. So I guess you could say while the intentions were understandable, the motivation was understandable, it is really inexcusable for what she did. Then on top of that, Jeffrey, I feel like, I really felt for Melissa one of the first times when she called Jeffrey out in a polite way instead of, acting like a, bitch, was like, "Look, you can't treat me this way. I'm a person." And I'm just like, yep, I like that. That actually makes sense. I think that was around the time where Justin followed Jeffrey back to Veronica's house, and then Veronica confronted him for the first time. And, Jeffrey was looking out of the window, I think. And, that's when Melissa was talking to him because it's just like, "Hey, what's going on? What are you doing? Shut up." And I think that's what happened. Yeah, that's right before she slit her wrist, too. But in any case, I feel like at the core of it, it was almost like Jeffrey saw Melissa as, another victim of Veronica. But also, I even said this in another video a while back, I really liked the dynamic because after we found out that Melissa had a past to being suicidal and whatnot, it really did seem to me like Melissa was gearing up to be the next Amanda. And it would have been a great character arc if Jeffrey was able to help her out in order to. I always thought of it this way. In a way, I don't even think this was ever played up, which it should have been. Jeffrey should have been feeling like a failure because he was unable to save Amanda. I mean, not just living in the apartment with those two for a while, but also, and this is something that I rarely talked about. I mean, but I think I mentioned this in the blog, but well, you all know I love Amanda's character, my first crush on the show. But that scene where she was playing around with her gun and Jeffrey walked into the apartment. That's when Jeffrey still had a key, and I know he was there looking for Candace, and then Amanda was there with like I mean, to be honest, Amanda looked like a Malone with the leather jacket and everything, all black. She was having the gun and whatnot, and her and Jeffrey had an exchange. She apparently went into the back, put her gun away, and came out, and it felt sad to just see Amanda breaking down like that because she was just like, why are you here? I mean, she was actually, you can kind of see her tearing up and you can really feel like there was an internal struggle going on inside of her. And Jeffrey literally saw that. That's why he went over to the Crier house and told Catherine that Amanda has a gun. So, and not only that, all the clues and hints while he was staying there, like Amanda getting up, leaving early in the morning or in the middle of the night, talking to somebody that isn't even there. Is she taking her medication? Basically, he saw all that. So in a way, it almost feels like, I saw this happen, but I couldn't stop it. So aside from Wyatt, that whole, pining after a straight man thing, I really wish Jeffrey's character got a little more development in terms of redeeming himself by not making the same mistake again. I mean, once again, the comic book reference, kind of like Batman, after his parents were killed, he made the vow to, fight crime so the same thing wouldn't happen to anyone else that he had to go through, which is complete bullcrap because if you read comics and watch the movies, a lot of people die in the midst of Batman's battles, or his villains who get away or get out of Arkham Asylum, but I'm not getting into that today. But I really thought that it would have been cool if he said that, I knew somebody like you, Amanda, because obviously Melissa knows of Amanda. She briefly met her at the season 2 finale at the dinner party, but knows of Amanda by coming over to the Crier house after the whole Amanda being what was it? Yeah, one of the worst Veronica moments. In the midst of Amanda's dead body upstairs, Veronica decides it's a good idea to have Melissa here with Jeffrey. So there was that. So she knows of Amanda. But all I'm saying is I really wish that they could have done a mini arc where Jeffrey was trying to console and help Melissa through this, and those two together could take down Veronica, or at the very least get out of their current predicament with her. But instead, we got the quote-unquote Holissa arc where she literally just threw herself at anybody who walked through the door. But in any case, I do feel like in a way Jeffrey did care about Melissa. Obviously not in a romantic sense, but he finally began to see her as a person. Unfortunately, it happened too late. I guess that's the best way to put it. And at the very core, he doesn't want to have anyone else being a victim of Veronica's schemes, and that's pretty much what happened because, well, she did it. Metaphorically. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think that Jeffrey actually cared about Melissa? I feel like towards the end of her life or her run in the series, he definitely did. But unfortunately, it was too little, too late.